Well, welcome back everybody to Simply Garden and Home. And you know what? This is kind of a unique place where I'm standing right here. This is not our typical yard. What I want to show you what I've been working on is expanding our Christmas tree. I don't want to call it a Christmas tree farm, but I am growing Christmas trees. We probably have about 90 Christmas trees throughout the property. And earlier in the spring, we had taken down some trees back here. If you want to take a look along here, we had some very large trees actually. Was taken down last year, a couple of years ago. One was a huge hickory. You can probably see it down in there, if you can get an idea how big that thing was. It was massive. If you look out back, we had a bunch of pine trees taken down out back. This is not our property, but the people that owned it previously had no problem with us taking trees down for safety. You know, you get these hurricanes coming through. That's the east. One time I took a good-sized pine tree. Actually, the top of one of these taller ones, I don't know if you can see them. Look up behind you, then kind of take a look to the north. You can see the big tall pine trees up there. Well, we had a bunch of them around the property, and I took one through my garden shed a couple of years ago that came out of the east winds and put a hole right in the back of the roof. I go, okay, that's enough of that. And we got rid of a bunch of trees. But the problem, when you take the pine trees down, guess what happens? Everything else starts growing in. I mean look at the growth. Can you see out here? It's just amazing. This is all last year. There was nothing here. It was just like pine needles. This is all, so it's a continual battle. So I thought, you know what? I'll grow some Christmas trees on this side. I got permission from the new neighbors. They're wonderful people. And I figured put some bark mulch down here, wood chips I mean. I did put some cardboard underneath ahead of time just to retard back the weeds. You can see the cardboard underneath here a little bit. You guys see the cardboard there? Yeah. So anyways, Christmas trees. You know what? It's something that gives me joy because I like to share it with other people. So we do have our 2 adult children and they enjoy, the Christmas trees. They can come and pick it. In fact, when I was younger, talking years back, our kids were younger. We had Christmas trees probably when I first moved in this place, 30 years ago, Linda? 35 years ago? I planted Christmas trees right away. And we actually had enough to pick for our own use inside. And after, it takes about, a Christmas tree this size here. This is probably about 8 inches tall. In about 7 years, it's ready to go. 7 years. So I was thinking, okay, I'm 62 in 7 years, I'll be 79, 70 years old. Some are smaller than that. So I got myself about 90 Christmas trees. I figured, you know what, 3 Christmas trees a year, I'm good for 90. So hey, we'll share them with the family. And if somebody has a need for one, we'll give it to them too. Absolutely. I always like sharing what we have here. And God gives you the ability to grow the things. It's not that hard to grow Christmas trees. If you got some extra room in your property, you can get them online pretty cheaply. I go from User Forest. We'll put a link down as far as where I get them from, the name of the company actually. So if you want to get some Christmas trees from them, they're great. They always stick by their product too. As far as there's any problems with it, they pretty much not refund your money, they'll replace them for you. So if they don't make it. But anyways, we have a couple of Christmas trees to trim real quick. I think, Linda, we might be able to use this Christmas. So I promised her, I said, you know what? The final trimming on this tree here, I want you to do it so you're happy how it's going to look when it gets inside in November if we decide to use it. So let's go down and take a look at it. And so come along with me. I'm going to jump. So here we go, Linda. What do you think? This could be in our room this year, in our family room.
It's beautiful.
Do you think that'd be okay? I mean, I'm 6'4". That's got to be what? 8 feet tall?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take some off the top.
Take a little off the top, and then we cut some off the bottom.
This tree here probably is about 10 years old, I'd say. 8 to 10 years old, yeah. I mean, you got some small ones coming here. Look over here.
They're so cute.
I mean, this guy here. Oh, Hunter loves these Christmas trees. In fact, the other day he goes, Nana, I need one of Papa's baby Christmas trees. I'm like, not yet. Like in a few minutes, no, but I want one for my bedroom. Well, so he'll have one in time. We gotta wait, you gotta be patient. But it doesn't take long to grow. I mean, like I say, this one here is probably been here about 3-4 years. But what happens, they really start taking off. Once they get established, they go. We got some newer ones we just put in down here. Let me show you. Way back in the corner here. You can't see it. You gotta keep the weeds down, but I do have one that's a little tiny one, about that big. So anyways, let's trim this Christmas tree. So what do you think? I'm gonna take off the top.
So what time of year should we trim?
You can trim now. These are Fraser fir, by the way. Fraser fir, they call them the Cadillac or Christmas trees.
They're soft.
They're soft. They're not overly
Not
fragrant if you have
overly
allergy
scenty,
problems.
yeah.
You can trim pretty much the Fraser firs from July right through the fall.
Okay.
Some trees you can't because they get too, they harden up too much or too hard to trim when they get into the season, but the Fraser fir stays pretty soft. So let's go ahead and do a little trimming. You tell me what you want, Linda. And we'll see how she comes November. Oh, another thing nice about picking your own tree, they're fresh. They last a lot longer inside. Oh my goodness, a lot longer. You know, versus your guy from the tree farm, you know, the tree lot, they probably picked them back in September, you know. So for your leader, we'll say, we're doing this for the finished look, all right? Because typically when you're pruning for continuation of growth, you pretty much want to cut back about like 2/3 back like this, and like that. But I know for Christmas, we're gonna want to probably kind of cut more of these back, right? Too much?
That's
Uh-oh.
good. That's all right. Other side needs one.
Is that a little bit? Okay.
That, yeah.
You tell me what you want, Linda. So then your lights will hang around there. So how much do you want me to trim on the outside?
Just little.
Just
There's some that just stick out beyond the other.
Just a little bit.
Right.
Like this here?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then on this side, I can see you're going to have to move your
Now what
ladder
happens when you
as you
do
go.
trim these guys, everywhere you trim it, you're gonna get new growth.
Right.
Of buds will pop out for the next year.
And
but
be like 2, right?
2 or 3, yeah,
Or
will
3.
pop out. Yeah, but we're not too concerned about that right now because
Up at the top, you can do one more that's right in front of you.
we're right here.
You point. No?
Right here?
Yes.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
We're
Yeah.
back here.
Sure.
A little
That's
bit.
good.
Okay.
And then right at your face to the left.
Right here?
Right there.
Okay. Yeah, we're not going crazy because if
No.
we end up using this for Christmas, we
Right in
wanna
front
have
of you.
some
Exactly.
room for the lights to hang on.
Right.
You know,
Right up. Probably a. That's fine. And then right in front of you, Jim. You can't see. Yes.
A little bit.
And there. Good.
Very light pruning right now. I think we're ready to use it this year. Hopefully, and if you change your mind,
I
go
can
down-
smell Christmas now.
we'll go down to the local garden center and get our own, buy another tree this year. Hey, it's $35, $40 a tree, and that's cheap. And we buy
Some
eight-
parts of the country it would.
Yeah, no. Someplace $60, $70 for a tree this size. Where else do you want it?
And even around here, it depends on how the
Depends where
year
you're getting it
is
from, yeah.
and where you're getting it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
everything's different.
Exactly. That
I
was
know
good.
people like artificial trees, but you know what? Let me tell you something. Yes, it's a living thing, but guess what? It's a crop.
Right.
It's replenishable, okay? Yes, that was a little tiny baby. If you go up a little further up here, walk up here a little further, Linda. I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but
That's okay.
I mean here. Here's some brand new ones that were planted 2 years ago. You know? I mean, there we go. All different stages coming along. Yes, one died this last year. Look at that. It died this spring all of a sudden. It was doing great, and all of a sudden it died. So, you know, I got some new ones on the edges coming.
It's
a
also
crop.
a nice way to fill in too if you're trying to figure out something for her, even privacy.
Yeah. But don't forget, they get big. I mean, these are
You would have to keep clipping them.
evergreen.
Exactly.
Turn around, I'm gonna show you something real quick here. This tree here, actually, this tree here is about 33, 34 years old.
And that is a.
It's some
Scotch
kind of
pine
evergreen.
type.
It's an evergreen.
We
Oh,
won't
it's a-
use
it's a
that
fir.
in the
No.
house.
Jennifer, I will trim this again. I haven't trimmed it this summer, but she'll have me cut it off right about that high. We'll take the rest down. Neighbor burns it, and she takes from about 4 feet up from her front porch display.
About 35 years,
About
you think?
35 years old, yeah. I trim it every year, okay? Turn around, look across the street. Those Christmas trees over there,
They were young
they
when
were
we
young
first
little
moved
ones
here.
like I just
remember
showed
that.
you here. And now look, after 30 years, what they
They've
are.
never been trimmed back.
No, never been trimmed. Nope. So they will grow big, but that's back to work.
But where you put them over the stone wall,
Yeah.
where we have the big, huge pine trees, the white pines,
Yes.
it's another,
It's an eventually they'll become usable Christmas trees.
right.
You know, in 10, 15 years from now, we will harvesting those for use.
And if you decided to keep a couple there,
Yeah, you can trim them.
It's
It's a nice border. Yeah.
a border.
Exactly, yeah. So we'll hit a few of
But
these here.
people a lot of times put too many things
Close together. Yeah, now these I planted about 5 feet apart because they are going to be harvested for Christmas trees.
Right. That
If
was
you're
the
gonna use them for
goal.
a border, you probably want to put them at least 20 feet apart
Okay.
because they're going to get big.
Right.
I mean,
People don't realize that. They see them when they're little.
oh, well,
Like the little tiny,
let's put 'em
tiny
five-
ones. It's
4 or
like
5 feet apart. Yeah, if you're
they
gonna,
forget.
If you're going to cut them for Christmas trees, that's all you need. And in the regular Christmas tree farm, they're about 5 to 6 feet apart.
Right.
So, anyways, you forget that.
So the trees across the street over there, those were here when they were planted about the time we all
about
moved
30,
in.
35 years ago, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Everything grows up. So,
I
what else you
remember
want me
when
to
they
hit?
used to put Christmas lights.
Yes, they would.
They could reach from the ground.
Yeah. they
Maybe
could.
a step ladder like
Yeah.
you're doing.
Oh, yeah. They all grow. What else you want me to trim on the side here, Linda?
That looks good. A little bit, maybe right there on the left.
Right here?
Right there. So what does it take to grow a successful Christmas tree?
So this one here died.
I see that.
Yep. So typically I dig about a foot wide, about a foot and a half down, a foot down. Usually use a pickaxe because this is pretty tough soil out here. And just replace it with some decent soil from the garden. Mix a little bit of the current soil in with that. And plant it about at the same height that it was growing, maybe a little inch deeper, they say, than it was growing. I do put some bark mulch around it, some wood chips. This doesn't show that, but the new ones I planted wood chips around it. And from there, water them once a week until they get established. And you know, these tall guys here, I don't water them anymore. They're fine. You know, it's the first 2 to 3 years you got to really take time to water them. And you don't get an inch of rain a week, I'm back out with the hose watering these things. So that's part of the discipline. You got to do that. And actually, we're going to talk about discipline in the next video coming up here. Discipline as a gardener. But let's finish this job up first.
Way
here.
up at the top.
Way at the top
I don't know
here.
if you can reach the
See this one
one.
here?
Yes, and the one right there. And
You
if,
can always trim these
perfect.
more than you get in the house. You know.
that looks good.
You like it?
I'm liking
You
it.
think this will work this year for Christmas? How wide is this
do.
thing here? Each one's a foot.
I know we need more
2,
pencil style.
3, 4. You know, that's about it.
That's
5.
good.
That's about it.
Right.
I'm excited. We
And
can-
then we have a cathedral ceiling, so the
Yeah,
height
so it'd-
will work.
Yeah, and I'll cut it. You know, I tend to cut them probably about a couple inches above the ground, and we're good to go. Our first one. This is exciting.
It is
Great. All right.
looking wonderful.
Well, thank you for sharing on how to trim a Christmas tree and just kind of where I'm at with why I grow Christmas trees and the fun in doing it. So if you got a few square feet in your property, I know I have all different situations. People I see that, you know, I watch our channel. I appreciate those that watch it, but some don't have the room for it. That's okay. But if you do, fit a few in, it's well worth the reward. And I appreciate you watching our video, and looking forward to getting you more information about what we're doing out here. And enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you for subscribing, those that are new, and leaving your like button, comments, always appreciated. Have a great day. Bye now.